Today we're going to do a very quick update on the semiconductor market. Yesterday, ASML, a very important company that deals with producing equipment for the manufacturing process of semiconductor chips, released earnings. And I do want to say there's at least 3 important key takeaways that every kind of semiconductor investors should know about. And that's what we're going to do in today's episode. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Check out the pinned comment for a lot of great links, my tech channel, and also my free Discord channel. So let's get started.
I do want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and make sure to check out fool.com/Jose to get the top 10 stocks to buy right now.
Alright, so we can see today seems to be another great day for ASML. The stock is up about 2.5% as I am recording. Like I mentioned, ASML produces the equipment needed for companies like TSM to kind of produce their leading node technology. So many might say that ASML is one of the most important companies in the world because without their equipment, many companies wouldn't be able to produce the advanced technology that they do today. This is a stock that's down roughly 40% from its all-time highs and has a dividend yield of about 1.1%. One of the main reasons I believe for this overall pull down in semiconductor stocks is the overall sentiment towards the semiconductor market. Obviously, with consumer spending, there is expected to be a slowdown in consumer electronic sales, which at the end of the day kind of trickles down all the way to semiconductor companies. But like we're going to see in earnings, ASML mentions that, hey, this might not be too much to worry about. The first key point that I think we should take away is that there is definitely a slowdown happening in the consumer market. During ASML's earnings, they mentioned that some customers are indicating signs of slowing demand in certain consumer-driven market segments. If we take a closer look at TSMC's earnings call transcript, they do mention that on the inventory side, due to softening device momentum in smartphones, PC, and consumer end market segments, they have observed that supply chain is already taking action and expect inventory levels to reduce through the second half of 2022. So both these companies do see kind of a slowdown in the consumer market, but is it game over for the semiconductor market? I want to say I don't think so, and let me show with key point number 2. Before we go on to key point number 2, if you are curious what stocks I'm watching this week, make sure to watch this video after. So the second point I want to make is that even though we are seeing the consumer market decrease, ASML sees strong demand for their systems driven by global megatrends in automotive, high-performance computing, and green energy transition. So there is definitely a market where there is a bit of a slowdown, but there's also a few markets, and one of my favorites is the high-performance computing because that deals with clouding, with data centers, and that I believe is going to continue to grow. If we take a closer look at TSMC in their most recent earnings, they also mentioned something similar. They said that their second quarter business was supported by high performance computing, Internet of Things, and automotive related markets. They also mentioned that they expect a continued demand for industry leading 5nm and 7nm technologies, which is that's used in IoTs and high performance computing as well. So we definitely see a slowdown in one market, but both these companies are also saying that they're still seeing strong growth in a second market. TSM actually kind of gave us a strong outlook as well for the upcoming quarter, and ASML mentioned that this quarter was a record net bookings of 8.5 billion euros. So for the short term, I do believe we might have that consumer pain, but in the long term, I'm still super bullish in the semiconductor market. The final key point that I'm having from ASML is that the important equipment needed by semiconductor companies are seeing a delay. ASML mentions that they are seeing an increased supply chain constraints causing a delay of some of their shipments. TSMC has mentioned the same thing. They mentioned that their suppliers of equipment have been facing greater challenges in their supply chains, which are extending tool delivery lead times for both advanced and mature nodes. And I do believe this supply constraint on the equipment needed by the manufacturing of semiconductors is going to at least prolong the overall kind of semiconductor market shortage for a few more quarters. So those are the 3 key points I wanted to take a closer look at today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and make sure to hit the thumbs up and that subscribe button.